Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name's Grace and today is Monday, November 15th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias that you can follow me on if you are interested. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes and links to things that I will be talking about in this episode will be linked in the coordinating blog post. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the various social medias, website, and stuff, all the places. So if you would like to come check us out in person, if you are visiting your local, or if you just want to follow us on Instagram or check out our online store, that would be absolutely wonderful. So, I have changed my appearance. It is very fun and I'm quite loving it. I also have a delicious cup of tea that I want to talk about, and we have a lot of knitting to discuss and a lot of things. So let's just get right into the episode. Also advent calendar stuff, which is very exciting. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So if you would like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold. I'm very behind on my laundry today and I have a lot to do later, but that's okay. We're not gonna dwell on it too much. Maybe you're on your lunch break. I don't know what you're doing. I hope it brings you joy, or if it just is some relaxing time. Whatever it may be, you can do all of those things or none of those things, whatever, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, first of all, my tea. Wow. It is salted caramel from Bigelow. And I don't know if this is a new flavor. I've never seen this flavor of tea from them. Granted, it's not like I go out and about looking for new tea flavors from certain or specific tea companies or anything like that, but it was on an end cap at our HEB the other day, and they had another one. I forget what it was. It was seasonal, I'm sure, but this is salted caramel and it's a black tea, and oh my goodness, it gracious. It reminds me a lot of the Bigelow Vanilla Caramel, which used to be my all-time favorite, other than like your everyday PG Tips type thing. Just so good. Would highly recommend it. If you can find it, I'm sure you can get it online. But maybe your local grocery store also has it. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about. Second thing, yes, I have bangs. Yes, I have new glasses. I literally got them. They came in the mail this afternoon. And so I prolonged recording because I wanted to wait for my glasses to show up. And here we are. And I'm so excited. I love them so much. I now can't see if you can see them, but this is what they look like. I love them so much. I got them from Zini Optical, which is my first time purchasing from them, and I was very impressed. And I have been a long time glasses wearer since I was a wee child, wee bairn, maybe 7 or 8. So I've been wearing glasses for a very long time. Gotten glasses from various places, mainly Warby Parker in years past, but just wanted to try something new. I've heard nothing but good things about Zini Optical and Glasses USA, but for these frames, and whatever, and the lens treatments and stuff, that the price worked out better to do Zini, which was awesome because I found basically the same frame at both places. So it worked out very well. and I just love them. And yes, now I have bangs, and it's just all the fall vibes, and I love it so much. I just am very excited. My shawl, I don't remember the name of it. Cocoon? It's by Lavanya. Ooh, I made this forever ago. What is this? I don't think I have it. No, maybe I do on my Ravelry project pages, excuse me. So I can close all this because my packages have arrived. That is very exciting. So while we figure out what I am wearing, because I don't remember what it's called because it's been too long ago. I have a lot. Chrysalis. I knew it was something that had to do with the butterfly. You know, I was close. Cocoon, butterfly, you know. So that is my Chrysalis shawl by Lavanya Patricella out of Ching, and it's very soft and very squishy, and I love the colors. So, and now we're getting comfy. I just love my bangs so much, and my glasses. I'd had those rose gold ones for a very long time. It was time to freshen them up. The coating on the lenses was kind of starting to flake, or like kind of be crusty up on the edges, and I was like, okay, they've had their time. It's time to get new ones. Also time to get bangs. Change everything. So, I clearly couldn't multitask and talk about one thing and do another at the same time. I apologize. So I do have quite a lot of knitting to share with you because this past weekend we had the lovely opportunity to go camping with some friends of ours. And I haven't been camping since 2009? 2008? It was for a bike ride that I was doing with my family, and it was like a halfway point, and we had to camp. And the weather, it was just a relatively unpleasant experience just because of the weather and the way that it turned out, and also having this, we were all really exhausted. But anyway, so that was the last time that I went camping, and we used to camp quite a bit, I feel like, before we moved to Houston, and I remember having fun camping, excuse me, but I just hadn't been in a long time. Sam, my husband, is an Eagle Scout and loves all that kind of stuff. And we had actually not been camping together at all since being together. So this was a really fun experience for both of us, and to be able to do this, I knew that it would be fun, and it was just so pleasant. The weather was just so beautiful. We went on a very fun hike. We were in McKinney Falls State Park, which is just outside of Austin, in the Austin area. It was very cold at night, and I loved it, and I had my, I picked 2 items of knitwear so I wouldn't bring too much. So I had my Wild Joy sweater and my Snowberry cowl, and it was just so amazing, and I layered up, and I got so much knitting done, and I took a wonderful nap in my hammock and knit in my hammock, and the breeze was just so nice. It was so beautiful, and was just very peaceful, and I just wish there were more places around us that we are able to like go and put up our hammocks. I know there are, I just don't know where they are. It was just very pleasant, very relaxing. So I got a lot of knitting done. The drive up there takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. And I did a very good job. I limited myself to 3 projects. Technically 4, but I worked mainly on the 3. One was my car project, so then that limited it down to 2. Except for this extra one that just basically lives in my purse, and I forgot to bring it in here to talk about, but we will just talk about it briefly. So let's start with my car project, because that is what I love to, that's what I started with. So it's basically the timeline. Also, everyone, I finished my mystery knit along. It got done. It's done. I finished it on Thursday. Excuse me, I keep yawning. I apologize. I finished it this past Thursday, and it is currently blocking. I was wanting to prolong recording, obviously, for my glasses, but didn't think about waiting to block my mystery knit along to show you. But it is blocking, and it is so big and so massive, and I'm so excited to just be able to wear it and enjoy it. And I think it's one of those, it will be one that I wear frequently, or that I am more likely to wear, I feel like. Not that I'm not likely to wear the other ones, but it's just I think it's the colors. I'm just very much into those colors right now. I also need to figure out if I'm doing fringe or not, or if I'm doing pom-poms. I don't know, but I do know is that what I do know is that I will have it available to take pictures in the mountains when we go visit my parents, which is next week. What? Just so exciting. I cannot wait to see them and their animals and just everything, and my family and the knitting time. Yes. So let's get back to the knitting, shall we? I worked on my diamond jumper. My diamond jumper was my car knitting, and my goal was to basically knit until I ran out of yarn, which I almost did. I say that I accomplished my goal, basically, because this is what I have left of my current skein. I have one more ball of yarn, which is going to be more than enough, and yes, so the body is finished, and I've gotten a good amount in on the sleeve, which I'm just so excited. I do need to try this on just to, what is the front and what is the back? I think this is the front. You know what's a good sign? It's like you can't figure out where your short rows are. You know you did them. They're just hidden away very well into the pattern, and so you can't tell which is front and which is back. That's okay. Oh, I suppose I could look at the tail. That would be in front. But I'm gonna weave that in, so I mean, that's not very helpful. Anyway, here's my diamond jumper by Ann Venzel. I have finished the body. It is done, and it's got nice twisted rib on the bottom. And yes, now I am working on my first sleeve, and it is going very well. I do a certain amount of decreases, and then I do the ribbing, and then I am done. I will say that, again, this is not a beginning knitting. This is not even, like, you definitely need to know sweater construction quite a bit to knit this pattern. It's not that it's a bad pattern, it's just that there are some things that are left out a little bit, and it's just like, okay, well, I know that this needs to happen, I just need to figure out how to do that. Which is not a bad thing, it's just the fact of the matter. So I would not recommend this to a beginning sweater knitter. Definitely an advanced, made many sweaters in your knitting time, just to be comfortable with continuing on. I'm using Cascade Eco Wool in the taupe colorway. Oh my goodness, and bangs and my glasses and my amazing lip color in this sweater. Can we even? The pictures. I'm so excited. But yeah, I need to try it on to make sure I get the sleeve length correct, and also need to wind up a new ball of yarn, which is just super exciting. And I was correct in my estimation that this would last me through the bottom of the sweater and a good portion of the first sleeve, so that's really great, and I'll have more than enough for the rest of the sleeve and the second sleeve, which is great. So then I could potentially use that for something. I don't even know what, but there are bazillions of options. But yeah, I'm super excited with how this is going. I'm excited with my progress. Obviously it goes much more quickly because my rounds are much shorter, which is great. And it's nice that by the end of the body of this sweater, I was super comfortable with this cable pattern, so I do not need to look at the chart anymore. I just know what I need to do based off of what I can see on my needles and what I've done previously, which is really nice. So it makes knitting the sleeve much faster. You do have to work your decreases in, which is challenging. It's not my favorite thing, but I mean, it's on the bottom of my arm, so I mean, like, it really doesn't matter in the end, but it's like, this could look nicer, but it's okay. So I'm just trying to do it the best I can, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's the bottom of my arm. No one's going to be looking at the decreases and the patterning on the bottom of my arm. So this is very exciting. My goal for this sweater, as I have said, if you have not seen recent episodes, my goal is to have this done by the time we go and visit my parents next week, which is what? So when this comes out, it will be a week. We will leave a week from Wednesday when this comes out, which is just so exciting. I cannot wait. So I want to wear this. I'm not sure when I'm gonna wear it, but I'm gonna wear it, and I'm just so excited. This is the Diamond Jumper by Anne Vensel, and I may actually wear that to travel in, honestly, because it's so big and bulky. It would be much easier to wear it opposed to packing it. You know, it is very large and bulky, but I don't know. We will see. We will see. So next up, what did I work on? Let's talk about this one next. This is my Cruiser cardigan by Skein Yarns, and I got so much done on this. This was so great. I also had to perform sweater surgery bright and early in the morning. It was just so beautiful. It was just barely 7, and it was so nice, and most everyone was still asleep, and like there were birds chirping. It was freezing. Sam was also up, so he was starting a fire. It was so nice. It was just so calm and peaceful. And then I realized that I had messed up with my cast on, and I didn't have enough stitches because I cast on the wrong size. So, which is really, I mean, it's really great that I cast on the wrong size. No, it's not great that I cast on the wrong size. It's great because I thought that I didn't have enough yarn for the size that I had wanted to make. But in reality, I remembered that I had found my 4th skein, so that would have been enough to make the size that I wanted to make with the amount of positive ease that I wanted. Because when I was looking at this pattern, I couldn't remember the size that I was going to make, and I could only find 3 skeins, including this one I had balled up, so I was like, okay, well, I guess it therefore must be this size. because I clearly don't have enough for the 4th size or for the next size up. But I found it literally right before we left, and I completely forgot about it until I pulled it out that morning and was going to work on it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I ripped out what I did, but what I did was didn't rip out all the way past the cast on. I didn't frog the entire thing. I just frogged all the knitting that I had done, which wasn't too much. And because you cast on like an insane amount of stitches at the beginning, like it's almost 250 stitches or something like that, depending on the size. And so what I did was I ripped out to the cast on, put it back on my needles, and then continued to cast on what I was able to with the tail that I had, and then just kind of evenly increased until I had the amount of stitches in that row. Which, I mean, is it the best thing that I could have done? No. Is it the most correct thing I could have done? No. But I made it work, and it looks fine, and no one is gonna know, and it's gonna be fine. And I really didn't want to have to cast on something like 250 stitches early in the morning when I didn't know when people were getting up and I would need to converse with them and not be able to count to something like 250 stitches, because that did not sound like fun. And so I made it work. And then I had so many short rows I needed to do, which is like just part of the pattern. I was not expecting to get them. Oh, it smells like the campfire. I love that. I got them all done and then some, and I like just powered through. And I know this doesn't look like much, but I've made so much progress, and now I'm just knitting back and forth until it measures a certain amount from a certain area, I think from the wrist, which I think is here, and it's just so nice. So this is the Cruiser Cardigan, like I said, by Skein Yarns. I'm using Juniper Moon's Patagonia, which is this like very squishy woolen spun black charcoaly heather color, and I love it so much. And this is all garter stitch, and it is all just so squishy, and I do have a little bitty delights. Oop, I'm getting another spam call. This is like has to be my 10th one today. I've gotten so many spam calls. Little bitty delights. I apologize for my nails. For the holiday season. It's the holiday season. You know, because we've already gone over how I'm listening to Christmas music. Yes, I have started listening to Pentatonics because yes, they came out with a new album. I didn't realize that, and I was just blown away. I just can't even. It's so good. I know some people think that Pentatonics are overrated, and I completely understand that. But I just love their Christmas stuff. I don't really listen to them any other time of the year. But their holiday Christmas albums are just so good. So good. And on this new one, Evergreen, I saw 3 ships come sailing, or I think it's just I saw 3 ships, is just so good. I can't even. So yes, I have pulled out the big guns when it comes to Christmas music in my mind, and I do not care. We're almost to Thanksgiving, everyone. Where has November gone? I don't know, but it's the holiday season, right? So yes, this is my Cruiser cardigan. I did work on this quite a bit. I worked on this while hanging out in my hammock, and I took a nap, and I started a new cozy mystery, and it was just so delightful, and I was snuggled up in my sleeping bag. And the sun was just so beautiful, and it was peaceful, and there were birds, and we had a fire going. Like, it was just the most peaceful time ever. So that was my cruiser cardigan. That was the one of the things that I worked on most of the weekend, mainly at the campsite. My second thing, you may recognize this bag. This is my Vertex Unite. And everyone, I am so pleased with how this is turning out. I cannot even begin to describe how happy I am. And I love it so much. So, this is Vertex Unite. This is by Stephen West. I'm making a small version. I have made the large version before, and this is not my last Vertex Unite by any means. I have loved this. I will continue to love this so much. And I made so much progress. Also, I did most of this in the dark. I'd like to say that. I did most of this in the dark. And I started off with this in the dark because I hadn't, I knew there was something about like short rows with my cruiser cardigan, so I didn't work on that right away. I needed to do that in the daytime. And it was nighttime when I was needing something to knit upon. Yes, that's how time works. We have day and night, and it's light and dark and all that jazz. So I worked on this at nighttime around the fire, and also it smells like the fire pit, campfire, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, this is what I have so far, and I am just so much in love with this. I think it is amazing. I just cannot even. So this is knit in pieces. As you go, you pick up stitches. There is no seaming. No seaming. It's all good. You pick up stitches as you go. It's super fun to knit. It's a fun way to play around with color. I literally have no rhyme or reason with my colors. I'm just doing what works. And I'm using a 8 mini skein set from Big Sky Yarn Company. It is based off of colors from The Mandalorian, which is very fun. And so this little section here was one of my favorite colors, if not my favorite color. And unfortunately I did run out of yarn, but that's fine. I just striped it, which actually works out pretty well because I did the same thing on this section. So I think that looks kind of funky in a fun way. And now I'm working on this little short row section, which should not take me very long. I am more than halfway done with this. And yes, I'm very close to being done, really, because after this section, I think I have 2 sections left, and then the border. And I just am so happy with how this is turning out. I just cannot even, there's no, like I said, I have no plan of how this is supposed to look in the end. I have no goal. All I'm doing is just enjoying the pattern. I'm enjoying the yarn. I'm enjoying the process, and I'm just loving the fact that I'm loving how it's looking. This little stripe section is currently on a Scooby, so that is why it's kind of curling up on itself, but I mean, who knows? I could get this done before we go to my parents'. I could. I don't know. Because everybody, advent calendar season is coming up. It's coming, and we're going to discuss that today because I have one of my advent calendars with me on the floor. Right there. I'm so excited to talk about it. So yes, I'm currently working with this color, which is super fun. It's very dark and moody, but with like a little bit of green. And it is called Grief Karga. I don't know who that is, but I do know it is a person, and that is all I know. But I do know that it is a person. I don't know who it is, but that's okay. I can appreciate it. I just don't know. So that's very exciting, and I'm just really loving being able to play with these colors. They all look good together. Like, there's no bad color combination, which is just is wonderful, I think, obviously Cassie does an amazing job with her colors and her color schemes, and she did an amazing job with this mini skein set. And the fact that there's no bad color combinations makes it really easy to do stuff like this, because it's like, well, if I run out of yarn, I can pick any of these colors and to stripe it with, or finish off a section, and it will look amazing. Like, it's just perfect. So, yes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do my edging in. I was thinking about actually maybe doing like a black or like a charcoaly color. I feel like that would set it off really well, especially around the lighter sections. I think that might be kind of fun, but I am quite a bit from deciding that, but I am looking forward to figuring that out and seeing how things progress. This is still fitting in this little bag, so we're gonna keep it in here as long as I can. But yeah, this was my second campsite project, and I also worked on this in my hammock after taking a nap because I was just really tired, and it was just amazing. And I loved it so much because I didn't want to poke a hole. That would be very sad. It's a nice thing about Chow Goos, they're super sharp, and sometimes they poke holes through your project bags, even the really heavy duty ones. But yes, I am very proud of myself for planning my knitting so well this past weekend. Because I got, like, they were fun projects, like, and also I had finished goals that I had set for myself for recording today, and also just in general. I had finished the mystery knit along. I had no test knits on my needles. I finished the body of the diamond jumper. Like, it's all good stuff. So working on the cruiser cardigan was really exciting, and I'm just really looking forward to continuing on with this construction. I was reading ahead while I was working on this garter stitch, and I was like, I don't fully understand what's going on, but I know it will make sense once I get started. Or once I get there and I'm actually doing it, opposed to just reading it. I know in general what is going to happen, I just don't know what that looks like, which is fine. It's just part of the excitement and the fun process of this knit, and I'm really excited to be able to wear it, and I'm just like so excited. It's a very well written pattern so far. I'm very much enjoying it. I test knit for her 2 years ago, last year. I think it was last year. Yes. Yep. The duet tee. It's 2 colors. It was a great pattern. Definitely make another one of those. Make a long sleeve one. I would like that. So, we got home yesterday evening-ish, and so since I had made so much progress on these other things, I wanted to pull out something that I hadn't worked on over the weekend just to add more content for today's episode. If we're being honest, that's why I did it. True confessions of the podcaster. I also wanted to work on this. This is my Pink Fizz by Andrea Mowry. I'm using the Fiber Company's Meadow base in the straw colorway, and then Farmer's Daughter's Fibers, the Mighty Mo base in the Dumpling colorway, which is creating this very nice pinky gray fabric. We have these sections of lace on the front and on the back. I'm almost done with this repeat, and in fact I really could I need to double check and see which row I ended on, but I technically could start dividing for the front and the back, because I misread the pattern in that I thought I had to finish one full chart repeat before doing that, but in reality I just need to get to 14 inches. And I think I'm actually just slightly above 14 inches, if not exactly at 14 inches. So I could finish it out. I think I have like 6 rows left or something like that. But I need to end on an odd row. So I need to double check that. But this was another one where I knit until I ran out of yarn, because that was my goal. So I ran out of my mohair. I have more that I need to wind up, which is on my to-do list to do today. So we will see if that happens. But if not, I will do it tomorrow at work, which is nice. One of the nice things about working at a yarn store. So this is Japanese lace. It is so much fun. I am loving working on this. It is such a joy and such a fun experience. And it is a bottom up. Excuse me, I am yawning so much today. Ooh. I also got a lot done. See? See? I got a lot done. So now we'll move it. This is my Luke's Diner mug from Little Bitty Delights, which I love, with a little donut on top. So I would really like to divide for the front and the back. I think that would be a huge, like, milestone, because I've had this on my needles for quite a while. I don't remember if I got this back in April, I think it was April. I could be wrong. It was not this most recent time that we visited my parents, but the time before that, which I think was April. So I'm loving this, and I think, in theory, once I divide for the front and the back, it should go pretty quickly. In my mind. We'll see if that actually is carried out. And then obviously sleeves are super easy. So I think, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I apologize if I'm making you yawn. I'm very sorry. But yes, I'm loving my pink fizz. I'm looking forward to continuing to work on this and also winding up yarn. I do have a good amount left in my first meadow skein. I'll probably go ahead and wind up another one of these as well, just while I'm at it, and winding up the other mohair. That way that when I run out of the meadow, I'm ready to go with the other one. So I'm prepared. Because this may come with me to Colorado, I'm not sure. I don't know. We will wait and see. But yes, this is my Pink Fizz by Andrea Mowry. I'm loving it. It will be so much fun to wear. I am so excited. And it's just so elegant looking. It's time for a tea break. I will meet you back here in just a moment. Welcome back. Now it is time to talk about advent calendars, which is very exciting. And I put together a list of projects that I am interested in and I know are good projects, and just all the possibilities. I will not be showing pictures of them just because it is hard to find the original designer pictures, because some of them are pretty old, and I don't want to show other people's pictures without their permission, obviously, because that is very important. But I will be linking all these things. Sorry, I'm putting on my slippers. My feet are cold. I'll be linking all these patterns, links to these patterns in the show notes. So if you are interested in them, please go check them out. I apologize for not being able to put the pictures in, but it is what it is. But first of all, I'd like to share my first advent calendar. Is from Heathered Handmaids. It says do not open until December 1st, and I think that is a very nice detail that she put on the box. I am so excited. So Heathered Handmaids is one of my advent calendars. It was one that I was not, I wasn't planning on getting another one, because I already have another one that's coming that my mom and I are doing. But when I saw Heather's theme and mood board, and she was talking to me about it, I was just like, I cannot pass this up. This is just too much amazing. The theme is cozy animals, and her theme mood board, their pictures are on her Instagram, so I would highly recommend you go and checking her out, or checking out these pictures, definitely following her, checking out her shop and all that kind of fun stuff. I am so excited. The one animal that really sticks in my mind is the cozy hedgehog. I think it might have had a Santa hat on. I could be wrong, but like that's the one that sticks out in my mind. And there were just, I think there was a cozy little, it might have been a Cocker Spaniel puppy. I honestly don't remember, but obviously there was definitely a puppy, there was a kitten, there were other little cozy animals, and they were just so cute. And Heather just does such amazing stuff, so I am so excited to see what she has done. And what's also super exciting is that she did this in collaboration with Knitboop on Instagram, and her name is Yura, I believe. Yes, Yura is her name. And so in this advent calendar actually has quite a bit of goodies. There are actually 2 patterns designed by Yura, a progress keeper from her as well, and then a wooden pin that is designed by Heather, which is super exciting. So I'm really excited to see these patterns. I really like Yura's patterns. I've never knit any of them before, but every time they pop up I'm like, oh, I definitely need to add that to my queue. Definitely need to add that, which is super exciting considering that we are all, if you're doing an advent calendar or a countdown calendar, whatever you want to call them, we're all looking for these types of patterns that are good for mini skeins. My second one that I do not have in my possession yet, not sure when I haven't gotten a notification that it's shipped yet, but my mom is also doing this one, and that is the boho chic one from Lavender Loon, and I'm so excited. I have not ever seen Lavender Loon yarn in person. I've never worked with it before, and I'm so excited to use this as an opportunity to try new to me yarn dyers. Obviously I study them up quite a bit. I usually follow them for quite a while, and then I know that I really like their stuff, and then I take the plunge on advent calendars. That's what I did with Pineapple Yarn last year. I followed her for a very long time and just really wanted to try some of her yarn. And then the advent calendar happened and was like, oh, what a perfect opportunity. This is amazing. And it was just such a fun experience. So I'm super excited to try Lavender Loons. She had 2 options. There was the Avatar Last Airbender and the boho chic. And I was thinking about Avatar, but I realized that I probably would get more use and enjoyment out of the boho chic one, though I do really enjoy Avatar The Last Airbender, which I saw for the first time over lockdown last year, so that was fun. But that being said, I have written down patterns that I want to discuss and talk about, and ones that I'm thinking about doing. So hopefully these will be helpful to you. Again, please check out the links in my show notes if you want to see them, because I'm very sorry I cannot put pictures. I was planning on just pulling them up on my phone and saving them to a file in my like advent calendar file on Instagram, but again, finding the original designer pictures was going to be a challenge because some of these are pretty old. So also, not all of these are written for advent calendars. I will say not all of them are written for mini skeins necessarily, but they can be scrappy projects, and it's really just trying to think outside the box of not being restricted by a certain amount of colors, and just knowing that you may have some left over of a mini skein, you may not. You may use all of it, you may use not a lot of it, and that's okay, because like you can probably use it at another point in that project, or for some other project that you will probably do at some point, because we all love a good scrappy project, right? So I think I think there's actually more of these than not that were not designed for advent calendars or mini skeins. So I will do my best to point out which ones were designed for advent calendars. This keeps falling out. So first of all is What the Fade by Andrea Mowry. That is a big, big, massive triangular shawl. It's got garter stitch, it's got brioche. That one is made for a fade, but 5 colors, I think. Massive tassels. Wanted to make one of those for a very long time, and I just think it would be really fun. Also squishy and brioche. The only problem would be the brioche is that it would take for forever once I got to that point. But we're not shooting for a fast knit here. Like, I mean, I finished my dotted rays last year, what, in like March? In May? I don't even know. So we're not going for just a December here. We're going for enjoyment. Next up would be Lava Lake by Stephen West. There are quite a few Stephen Wests on here. There's 3 of them. Not quite a few, but there's 3. Lava Lake is another triangular one, and I believe it's knit sideways, which is very interesting. And it's another 5 color one, and that would be even easier, I think. Obviously, you get to a certain point where you're at the tip, and so your rows are super long, but you have these like little zigzag yarn overs to do. So it wouldn't be too hard to do quickly. And it would be one of those things where you would probably use fewer yards, whatever, fewer grams at the beginning because your rows were not as long, and then when you get to that center point, you're probably using up a lot of, if not all of, one mini skein. So then you can go backwards and then use up the ones you can fade back, maybe, depending on the size of the advent calendar that you have. That's an idea. Next we have 2 patterns from Beata, which is the person behind Hedgehog Fibers, the outline shawl and the flying fringe shawl. She has a couple others, but those 2 really stood out to me. The flying fringe, I believe you hold 2 yarns together, which I thought about, and I thought that if I wanted to do that, I could just start it on day 2 once I open the second mini skein, and then I could marl them 2 together, but I don't know if I want to do that. But there's nothing wrong with just doing it with just 1 strand, I don't think. And I believe that has fringe built into the pattern, which is nice. Outline is just a basic scarf that has some form of chevron-y pattern that's all in garter stitch, so another good option. So yes. The next one is actually a sweater, and this is, I believe it was designed with an advent calendar in mind, or just mini skeins or mini skein sets, and that is Yarmalada by Chrissy Abbott, and it's kind of like an open swing cardigan almost, and the one on the project page is just beautiful. It's got a very nice fade to it, and that will be very exciting. I think I might another scam likely. In the theme of being cozy with cozy animals, I think that would be very fun to do with that. Next up is the Adventuring Cowl by Amba O'Brien, and this is Adventuring Cowl. So this one is specifically designed for an advent calendar. The only thing, so I've knit one of her advent patterns before, and the only thing was that I was not a huge fan of was that you never really used up a lot of any of the mini skeins, which again, like, I know that you can use them in other places, but like it was all just not very much, so the stripes were pretty small, and that's okay. I do believe that the Adventuring Cowl is a little bit bigger than the one that I did before though, so that may not be as big an issue. There's also fringe. I'm not sure if that's built into it, but I'm excited about that one potentially. Another one that I believe was written for an advent calendar was the Habitation Throw by Curious Handmade. or Helen Stewart, and also similarly The Dust of Snow by Helen Stewart. Those both were written for advent calendars, I believe. The Habitation Throw is more of a blanket. Also cozy vibes. We love good cozy vibes, especially when we have cozy animals as a theme. And Dust of Snow would actually be pretty cool for the boho chic. I think that would be very on theme. And I have quite a bit of like random pieces of mohair that I could throw in there because I believe it also calls for mohair. This one is called Fade into Advent. Oh, I remember which one this one was. I looked at this one last year, or maybe 2 years ago. It's called Fade into Advent by Lisa K. Ross. This one's super interesting. I am very interested in this construction. I can't tell or I don't know if you knit the two sides and then you put them together and you knit them together in the middle so it comes to a point similar to like Starting Point, like Joji Locatelli did, or if you start in the middle and work out. But it's super fun. There's some slip stitches going on that create a really nice, like very precise, crisp looking line that goes down and like in the pattern. It's very cool looking. So that would be fun. It's all garter stitch, probably would be pretty straightforward and easy to do during the month. And I would just be interested in the construction of it. So that was specifically written for an advent calendar. The next one that's specifically written for an advent calendar as well is Mount Lindo, an Advent Poncho by Dawn Barker, I believe. So, yes. A friend of mine sent this one to me. I did not find this one. And it looks super cool. It looks like it's color work, maybe? It's kind of hard to tell because the picture on Ravelry is in black and white. And I understand why they did that. I think they used their advent calendar or something. Someone's advent calendar, didn't want to spoil it. So I understand why it's in black and white. But it makes it kind of hard to see what exactly it is or what exactly is going on. But it looks super cute. And I feel like that would be a really amazing way to use up most of your mini skeins. Also fun to make a sweater out of it. So that has great potential. So the last few are not written for advent calendars, but I think would be fun. First of which is very high up on my possibility potential list, which is Wavy Wiggles by Stephen West. And this is knit sideways. Well, no, it's not really knit sideways. I think they're short rows, and it's the one with the big holes, and I think you start with an I-cord. And I think it would be super fun. And in fact, you know what, I think actually several years ago, Diane of Suburban Stitcher, in her Vlogmas videos, she may have also been doing a Wavy Wiggles. I'm not sure if she finished it or if she continued on. She may have also been putting multiple advent calendars together in the one shawl, which I think is a super fun idea. But I would probably keep it separate. It would just either be the boho chic or the cozy animals. So that has very, very high possibility. The next Stephen West one is the Quake Shawl. And that is a very odd shape. It kind of looks like, it's almost like a shape of a trumpet. Like it's really narrow and long and narrow at the bottom, and then it kind of like goes out like this. And at the end there's some chevron action going on. There's a lot of striping. And there's a lot of yarn overs. So the yarn overs would definitely be something that would probably take up more time in order to pay attention to. So it wouldn't be necessarily like a sit and read thing, because I'm really interested in like a reading one. At least one of them, if not both of them. And so I don't know if that would really be the best idea, but I mean, it's a possibility. Also, so it's striped, and I believe you have your main colors and then you have a mohair for a stripe. I don't think I would do that. I think I would just do it all in the minis as I go, and I think that might be fun. Although if I'm thinking about it, I think the shape of that shawl and just kind of like the geometric lines of it don't really match the vibes of either one of these advent calendars, so I may not go with the Quake Shawl. I do want to do it at some point, but this may not be the right option, because I think both of these are just like, they're very soft colors. Maybe dark colors, but they may be soft. They're probably going to be more soft. So that is probably not something that I'm going to do, but could be for future advent calendars for sure. And also, I saw this and I was like, oh, I thought about it and was like, oh my, this could be potentially very fun. This is another sweater, and this is the Sushi, I think it's Sushi Shrug by Suzanne Summers, and it's the one that it's the, when you hold out your arms, it looks like a shawl, and it's got a little bit of brioche in it at the bottom, and it kind of like comes together, like if you're holding out a triangular shawl and you have like the wingspan draped over, it's like connected under your arms, and then you have like a long cuff. And I think that would be super fun. And then I could pick like a solid or something from my stash to do the cuffs on. I'm not sure about that. It was another one that I just really want to do at some point. It's just, do I do it with an advent calendar or not? Because I think it would be really fun. But this would not be a sitting and knitting and reading one. Potentially. Maybe at some points, but maybe not necessarily the entire time. Especially when I'm trying to figure out the construction of it, because I really have no idea how it goes. But I believe that is all the ones that I looked into. Please let me know if you have any other suggestions, or what are you planning on doing. I know that there are so many out there, and there are so many that I did not even think about. Obviously, I did not mention all of the ones that I have seen or done or whatever, but they were just ones that I was interested in. I really think you can use any pattern that calls for that amount of yardage. You can make it work. You don't have to stick to the 5 limited colors, or whether it be 2 colors or 6 colors or whatever. You can make it work with the mini skein set, or stash busting. Really anything that you can stash bust with, you can use an advent calendar with. So just to open your horizons to possibilities. It's fun thinking outside the box and being creative with the yarn that you have and making it work and putting it into a pattern that is not necessarily designed for that, which is super exciting. So I love that. I hope that was helpful. That was helpful for me, because I had been putting off doing research. And now I've done it, and now I have a better idea of what I may want to do. So. But yes, I hope that was helpful for you. So that is all that I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and just listening to me discuss all things knitting and talking about the camping trip, and that was just very exciting. And my new bangs and my new glasses and my delicious tea. It's just so good. It feels like it was a little bit more of a chill episode, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have all the social medias. I have all the show notes with links to the patterns for the advent calendars will be in my show notes. I will do my best to remember everything. If I don't, please feel free to send me a message, or if you have any questions, or just want to say hello, because I would love that. Please do that. And also yarn store information. That will be all the various places. But like I said, if you have any questions or I forget, please do not hesitate to send me a message. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I have crafty plans, and I'd love to finish my diamond sweater after I try it on. It's much easier to try it on now because I only have the sleeve. I don't think that thing, well, maybe the circular needle may fit over my arm. Oh, I think it should. this is 16" and my arm is not. I don't remember how big my arm is, but that should be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. If not, it's very easy to put it on a little scoopy and try it on that way. But yes, so once I measure, because it's so oversized, our sleeve is starting like down here or something, maybe right there. So I only have to measure from here down. There we go. From here to there. It'll probably be around this length, I think. I'm not planning on doing thumb holes. Arm holes. Yes, I'm definitely planning on doing armholes. That's very important. No thumb holes. So that is good and important. And then I will have a better idea of what I'm doing. And then obviously the second sleeve goes faster. I will wind up my yarn probably tomorrow. I doubt I'll get it done today. I have just too many things to do, and the day it's already pretty late. So that's okay. You know, it happens. Pink Fizz. Maybe finish my Vertex Unite, or finish at least the inside part of it and do the edging later. That's an idea. And then just making progress on my cruiser cardigan. And I have other fun things that I can do and I can work on, and I just need to evaluate what I have on my needles. And then also think about a Thanksgiving cast on, because you know that's a thing. That is a thing. Because also I think we are probably gonna go to Maker and Stitch when we're there, and I'm so excited. So, things to think about. Probably won't be casting on a shawl anytime soon, just because I know that I will for sure be casting on 1, if not 2 shawls with advent calendars coming up. It's a fun place to be in, you know. I'm very excited. Oh, I have my chevron shenanigans I could work on. That's a big project. That's an old project. So, may do that. Need to reevaluate and take a look at what I have on my needles, because that is a fun thing to do. And also just looking at what things I can cast on, because that's also very fun. And then we can get into Christmas yarn and asking, and Christmas presents and all that kind of stuff, and Christmas projects, and oh my goodness, it's just so much fun. All the decisions, wow, sometimes they're overwhelming, but that's okay. Those were my crafty plans. I hope your crafty plans are successful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. You are wonderful. You are enough. I hope you are experiencing joy